Today, I'm going to describe a super fit genius billionaire with psychological need to impress their parents and be the best at everything. But I'm not talking about Batman. I'm talking about Barbie. She's a Barbie girl in a Barbie world, but who exactly is Barbie? Recently, I watched a video on Good Mythical Morning, plug, where Rhett and Link talked about who Barbie's new boyfriend would be after she dumped Ken. They played the part of grown men playing with dolls for the remainder of the episode, before coming to the conclusion that she should date Severus Snape, because he was roughly her height-ish. I enjoyed watching their Bachelor-style episode, but it got me to thinking, who would Barbie actually select? Well, to answer that, we have to go into the mind of a plastic doll. So on today's thought experiment, we are going to be looking at the history, the psychology, the past of Barbie. First of all, who is Barbie anyway? Barbie is a beloved doll produced by Mattel. She was designed to be a doll of a grown-up woman rather than a baby and was designed by Ruth Handler, based on a German risque doll named Lily. Barbie dolls have been used in studies for gender roles and body image and subliminal racial bias, but no one, so far as I know, has ever asked the question, what is the psychology of Barbie herself? Now, you may be thinking, but how can a hunk of formed plastic have a psychology? Well, for the purposes of this video, we'll be approaching our analysis as if Barbie was a real person. In this thought experiment, we will create a world where people can live for a very long time but never age physically past a certain age, and we will look into the mind of Barbie. Barbara Millicent Roberts was born on March 9th, 1959. Despite being over 60 years old, Barbie has retained the physical appearance of a 19-year-old. We should all be so lucky. Barbie is the oldest of 8 children born to George and Margaret Roberts of the small fictional town Willow, Wisconsin. That's right, everybody's favorite Malibu girl was born in a tiny backwater in the Midwest. She has 7 siblings, namely Skipper, Stacy, Chelsea, Chrissy, Kelly, Tootie, and Todd. Barbie was born into a large family, with both her mother and father having several siblings, and Barbie has 4 aunts from her parents and 6 cousins, of whom only 2 are male. George, as the only breadwinner in the Roberts household, worked as an engineer, or film documentarian depending on your source, and was hardly ever home, leaving Barbie with a significant lack of male role model in her life. This is significant, but put a pin in that because we'll be coming back to it later. Barbie hooked up with her boyfriend, Ken Carson, in 1961. Yes, she was 2 years old, don't question doll logic, and was with Ken until 2004 when the couple broke up. Barbie spent some time in the company of Australian surfer bro Blaine Gordon, but eventually got back together with Ken on Valentine's Day in 2011. Interestingly, though Barbie has had over 200 jobs, Ken's most common actual profession is escort. He also spends a great deal of his time as beach bum and tourist. It is somewhat telling, I think, that Barbie's man Ken is very much a kept man, and though he and Barbie have dated for 43 years, they never got married or had any children. Barbie first moved into her dream home in Malibu in 1971, and it was at this point that the doll smiled for the first time. Prior to this, she had a sort of sarcastic side-eye look that didn't really seem very happy. But Barbie is a complete dynamo. Her first career was a teen fashion model, but since then, Barbie has held over 200 careers. And even if Teen Talk Barbie famously said, "Math class is tough" in 1992, she has held over 10 STEM jobs, ranging from computer engineer to astrophysicist to actual astronaut. In fact, Barbie's STEM job category is her 7th most popular field. Barbie holds 6 medical doctorate degrees, 3 PhDs, and has 16 master's degrees. She has won gold in 6 different Olympic sports. Not 6 gold medals, 6 different events. She has owned 9 businesses and served as both president and vice president of the United States. Barbie has served in the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, and Air Force, and has been both a Thunderbird pilot and a paratrooper. She was the first person to walk on both the moon, where she landed on the surface of the moon 4 years prior to Neil Armstrong, and Mars. She has been a police officer, a judge, a firefighter, and a paramedic. She has held 19 teaching positions on topics from yoga instructor to elementary school professor, and has also run the gambit of over 18 professional athlete positions. Whew. Man, how does she do it all? Well, because she is also a superhero. No, seriously, like all of them. She has represented superheroines from both DC and Marvel. Barbie is probably the only person you'll ever meet with mermaid and princess posted on her resume unironically. By the way, Barbie's resume must be several pages long. It's clear that Barbie is a real go-getter sort that is working nearly constantly at one thing or another. She has a very busy life. All those jobs seem to pay off, though, since Barbie owns outright a series of dream homes, sports cars, and, needless to say, endless supply of clothes, makeup, and accessories. Just as a reference point, Barbie's most recent beachfront Malibu dream home would sell for $30 million in real life, and she has had 10 of them. So Barbie is rich, ambitious, driven, and motivated. That much is clear. But she is also deeply nurturing, due in all likelihood to her caring for her younger siblings. Barbie has developed a deep and reoccurring tendency to care for children and animals. Barbie has had over 40 pets, including cats, dogs, horses, pandas, giraffes, and actual unicorns. She has also held 16 jobs involving either animals or the outdoors, ranging from veterinarian to park ranger to SeaWorld trainer. She has also been an elementary school teacher 11 times. She does not hesitate to help her friend Midge with her 5 children, but again, has never had any of her own, or showed any interest in doing so. Finally, we know that Barbie's favorite color is pink, because she puts that color on pretty much everything she owns. Pink is an interesting color in the world of color psychology because it represents both warmth and youth, and a lack of self-worth and abandonment of responsibility. This is extremely telling, and informs us that Barbie's true nature isn't what it seems. Growing up, Barbie never had a solid male role model in her life. Her father, as sole provider for a family of 10, must have worked pretty well constantly. Studies have shown that families with fathers who are not emotionally or physically present have difficulty with delaying gratification. Moreover, without male influence in her life, Barbie was raised in a completely female-centric environment and can and does have difficulty interacting with men. This is probably why she decided to be with Ken, who is basically just arm candy and not much else. Coming from a large family, Barbie would have felt pressured to be recognized and heard as an individual. This created a psychological need to be seen and heard. Barbie craves attention because she feels like she has to stand out from her many siblings and cousins. It's not an accident that of all her careers, her 2 most popular categories are aesthetics and music and dance. Be it through modeling, her art, her fashionable clothes, her many appearances on TV, Barbie has to be the center of attention because she worries that if she isn't, then she will just be another nobody from some backwater town that no one's ever heard of. This drive to prove herself also is what makes her so driven to succeed and so competitive. In her mind, failure is simply not an option. She has to be the best, wear the best, own the best, look the best, all the time. As the oldest sibling, it would have fallen to Barbie to be a role model and likely to help raise her siblings. This certainly cemented her nurturing attitude, but may also have sparked her resentment. Her mother, busy with keeping track of her other sisters and brother, would have not provided Barbie with the attention that she craves. It's possible the reason that Barbie is so nurturing to animals and children is because she wants to shower them with the attention that she was denied. It's possible, too, that because she bore witness to how having a family burdened her parents and herself, that is the reason that she never pursued a family life of her own and fierce commitment to Ken. Another great motivation for her dogged pursuit of personal wealth and recognition likely lies with the fact that coming from a big family with only a single income, Barbie was probably poor growing up. Since 14.3 million acres of Wisconsin are dedicated to farmland, it's not a stretch to guess that the town of Willow is either a farming community or at the very least farming adjacent. While the farming background connects Barbie to the land and animals, a trait which she still carries, it also means that she likely grew up poor. Can it be wondered at that wishing to escape from that provincial town, Barbie moved to Malibu? I know it's just a coincidence, but when viewed psychologically, it is significant that Barbie didn't start to smile until she moved to Malibu in 1971. She was unhappy in Willow. That's why she left. Her relationship with Ken is also very telling. Barbie loves Ken because he reminds her of herself. Consider, he is blonde, attractive, fashion-forward, and stylish, all of which are qualities that Barbie insists on within herself. He is uncomplicated, and because he doesn't really work, he, unlike her father, is always around when she wants him. Her attraction to Ken is purely cosmetic, though, which is demonstrated when she gets together with Blaine, who is basically just a Ken clone. It is her desire for attention and admiration that drives Barbie so hard to succeed at her various jobs. She has done more in her life than anyone, more in fact than it is remotely possible to do. It's not possible for one person to have done all the things that Barbie has done in a scant 63 years, even if they spent every minute of every day working on it. Barbie has accomplished more than Batman, and that's saying quite a bit. The constant go, go, go attitude has put tremendous stress on Barbie, though, which might explain her body disorder. See, Barbie is 5 foot 9 inches tall, but only weighs 120 pounds, which would classify her as dangerously underweight, possibly anorexic. This constant pressure might also be why Barbie has painted every inch of everything she owns pink. Pink is considered to be a soothing color, meant to invoke imagery of warmth, comfort, and the womb. Maybe Barbie has painted her dream house pink because that is where she attempts to relax. Still, despite her blonde looks, Barbie is no bimbo. Her time in business, law, politics, and the military have given her a shrewd and adaptive mind. She can adjust quickly to changes in circumstance, remain calm under incredible pressure, and think logically and tactically. She has excellent reflexes and intuitive learning, but in spite of this, is never satisfied with what she has, but always needs to move on to the next thing. That's why she can't hold a job for very long. It is this mania to be the best that has driven Barbie to do incredible things that no one else would ever even attempt, let alone achieve. Barbie has also balanced these forces within her, but make no mistake, she is only capable of it because she has extraordinary will and presence of mind, and the stress of holding it all together would be extreme. So what is the takeaway? Is Barbie a good role model for kids, or just a house of cards, one nudge from falling in? Well, kind of both. Barbie is a great example of what a person can achieve with the proper amount of effort and drive. She has done much that is admirable, and in that way, she can certainly be seen as a good role model. This is a woman who has accomplished every goal she has set for herself, a woman to whom limits mean nothing. The important lesson here is that there's nothing wrong with being the best you can be. Just don't push yourself too hard. Everything in life requires moderation and control. But that's why it's so important to, like Barbie, keep your eyes and mind open and always be creative. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you'd like to join our community and become a creant yourself, you should also consider subscribing to this channel for more thought experiments 2 times a month. We also now have a brand new Reddit community at r/CreantWorld, where we will be having our main interactions for this channel, and where you can suggest ideas for thought experiment and story time. So we hope to see you there. We'll see you next time.